Your talk is based on findings of psychology. Why is that?
Well, I believe that our field is too insular, okay, and we're at serious risk of stagnating. I believe if we are to revitalize the ELT world, we need to draw on insights from other disciplines. You see, the problem is that at present, we get most of our input from linguistics.
Why is this a problem?
Well, it's not exactly a problem, but there is life beyond ELT, you know. Let me give you an example, you know. The most memorable plenary I've ever attended was one given by Michael McCarthy. It was some years ago at a TSO convention. Okay, and he talked to us about the grammar of the spoken language. And I remember I was stunned when he was talking to us about left-hand dislocation and right-hand dislocation. You know, according to corpus research, when native speakers talk to each other, they tend to use structures like, my mother, she comes from Birmingham, or it's delicious, isn't it, spaghetti. Structures that would normally correct in the classroom. And that, of course, is the idea, okay, that the grammar of the spoken language is different to that of the grammar of the written language. And I remember I was amazed because this, of course, has profound implications, you know, for the classroom. But, here's the but. Can you imagine a colleague sharing this information with somebody outside the ELT world? Actually going up to them and saying, you know, did you know that when native speakers talk to each other? You see what I mean?
So, in what way is psychology different?
Well now, some of the research done in psychology is both relevant to the classroom and interesting in its own right. Let me give you an example. In one study, subjects were asked to hold the subjects in icy cold water for 60 seconds. Okay? First, one hand was held there for 60 seconds, and the other hand was held in water of the same temperature for another 60 seconds, plus an additional 30 seconds. Now, during this latter period, the last 30 seconds, the temperature of the water rose, okay, from extremely cold to just damn cold. And then the subjects were asked which of these two experiences they would like to repeat, you know, for a third session. So, what would they go for? 60 seconds of extreme pain, or 60 seconds of extreme pain plus another 30 seconds of slightly less pain? Amazingly, they went for the latter. Now the implications of this are profound, okay? Endings matter, endings are important. The way an experience ends colors our perception of the entire experience.
So how does this help me in the classroom?
Well now, how do most of us finish our lessons? I'll tell you, we assign homework, don't we? But this is disastrous, because this is what the students will remember. Instead, in the light of this finding, what we should be doing is we should be trying to end our lessons with a bang. You know, tell the students a joke, or perhaps get them to listen to a song, get them to play a game. You see? But the beauty of this study is that it doesn't just have to do with the classroom. Okay? It has to do with real life as well. I can imagine colleagues going up to their friends, okay, and telling them, listen to this. And not just friends from the ELT world either.
How does this help me in real life?
Well now, say you're a man, and you are not much of a lover. It doesn't really matter, provided you cuddle your partner afterwards. Do you see?
What's your workshop going to be like?
Well, in this particular workshop, I'll be looking at 4 findings from the field of social psychology, and they all have to do with liking. What is it? What are the things that make other people like us? How can we use them to get our students to like us and get our students to like each other? Okay? Then we're going to look at the practical implications, you know, of these findings for classroom work, and I will be demonstrating some activities as well.
Okay, here's a harder question. Why should a busy teacher attend your talk?
Well now, first of all, they're likely to hear some things that they would not have heard before, at least not in ELT events. Then, as I said, you know, the talk is very practical. We look at the practical implications, you know, of these principles. Plus, the teachers are going to get some activities and handouts that they can use with the students the very next day. But that's not all. Remember how we said earlier, okay, that we need to look beyond the classroom. Well now, at the end of the talk, I have included some tips about how you can get off with your sexy next door neighbor. Now, what more could you ask from a 50-minute presentation? Okay?